So our next presentation is from Bren Fuller. Bren's the Land Protection Officer at the Whitsunday Regional Council up on the mid-Queensland coast there. Bren's going to talk to us about the consistent long-term pig management to improve wetland condition. Over to you, Bren.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So today I'm just going to talk about two wetlands that fall within the Whitsunday region, and just share some information that we've collected over the last 10 or more years. Next, please. Yeah, we'll go next one, please. So the two wetlands, the Proserpine Gaganga wetland and the Abbott Point Carly Valley wetland, they're both nationally listed. They look, when you look at the maps from the air, they have different aspects affecting how the pigs impact them. Next, please. So this one describes the Proserpine Gaganga Plains wetland. It's on one side, it's surrounded by the ocean, Repulse Bay and the Proserpine River, and all the other sides is surrounded by sugarcane. Pigs can be challenging to control in sugarcane. One thing that I remember in 2006, the land managers were pretty heavy on using 1080 and meat baits to control feral pigs. They would turn up with 2 ute loads of horse meat or whatever, 2 to 3 times a year, targeting feral pigs on Gaganga floodplains. And that was pretty consistent until 2014, when we started the aerial shooting program in that area. And since then, the baiting has dropped off. So I guess I'm reading into that the baiting probably wasn't effective all those years. We get the next one, please, Norel. This one is the map of the Abbott Point Carly Valley, which is just north of Bowen, and it's tucked in behind the Abbott Point coal terminal. It's got horticulture to the north and to the south, and grazing country around it as well. So both those sites, the information I'll talk about today is essentially mainly from the aerial shooting program. There are bits and pieces of trapping and 1080 baiting going on within and around the edges, but the data is mainly the aerial shooting component. Next, please. So back in 2012, we will never know, but we think we might have had 300 pigs living in next to and digging up the Gaganga wetlands. So we put a dollar value to that. So we used the economic modelling data from a report we had in 2022. And if you take the figure of $662 per pig per year damaged agriculture, times it by 300, gives you $198,000. And then if you turn that back into 2012 dollars, so we cut that down to 60%, we think that there might have been $117,000 per year occurring to Gaganga from the agricultural side. And then if you take the same figures, or the same report, damage to the environment is $1,473 per pig per year, and work that down, it totals in 2012 dollars. We think that there might have been $382,000 worth of damage occurring to the Gaganga wetland. Next one, please, Narelle. And if we do the same maths with the Cayley Valley wetland, we think there might have been 400 there based on numbers that we originally were shooting. That works out to be $512,000 combined ag and environmental damage per year to the Cayley Valley wetlands. Next one, please. So these are some photos that I managed to find. And one thing that I'll point out a couple of times probably through the course of this talk is I wasn't smart enough to take lots of good pre-control photos. It's something that I wish I had of. So it is a little bit difficult to tell a good story without some decent baseline data. The photos, the three large photos from 2017, the little one up the top right, that's from 2013. It's hard to tell, but I can tell because I took the photo. It looks like the place has been bombed. There's all these craters all over the wetland. And the other thing, when you're flying around with money that's allocated to kill stuff, it's difficult to take photos and do the counting before. So all of this work that I've been doing is essentially the killing. We never had the decent monitoring set up before we started, and we just jumped into it and started shooting. Next one, please. So I took these 5 weeks ago. So the one on the left and the one in the middle, you can still see there is some damage to the wetland, and that's still occurring, but way down compared to the early days. And the damage in those two photos, we shot the pigs that were digging them up that morning. There's one still resting there on the left there too. So not many pigs left and not much damage, but there's still some damage. Next one, please. This is the Cayley Valley. Same story. I was too busy in the air doing other things, so I didn't think to take some decent photos way back when we started. But the photos on the left there, that's typical of the damage that was occurring. The pigs would just continually walk around the edge of the wetland, digging the ground up into the buckaroo. As the wetland receded, they just kept going down to the water. The photo on the right, that line down there, there's no cattle in this place. That's a big pig pad, and for years there used to be a pig pad around the edge of Cayley Valley from just the constant traffic from pigs coming and going. Next one, please. So it's pretty much the same angle. You can still see the same hill in the background. This was, when was it? The one on the right, you can see the one on the right, that was 5 weeks ago as well. But it might be a bit, I mean, I can tell because I took the photos again, but there's no damage. You just can't see any damage from pigs. The photo on the left, the brown looking stuff is not pig damage. It's actually dried off grass. And yeah, you can fly around the whole wetland and you just can't find damage. I mean, there will be a handful of pigs there. There's no question there, and there probably will be some damage there. But compared to years ago, visually, it's both wetlands are looking $1 million. Next one, please. So I've kept records on lots of things. When we flew, how many hours, pig numbers, dogs, all that stuff. This is these are the pigs that were shot in the Giganga Plains on those runs. The very first run we had a big hit. It was 106 pigs, and then from there things never seem to recover. You know, there's still pigs there. 5 weeks ago I shot 15 pigs. There's a couple of little spikes. I remember 2017 we had Cyclone Debbie came through, lots of rain, but in general the pig numbers haven't vanished, but they've gone down. So, you know, the other thing that that surprised me was that we've only shot 443 pigs over the 10 years, and it looks like you haven't got to remove too many pigs to stop a lot of that damage. Next one, please. So same graph up top, with the trend line there, and I put the rainfall. So the rainfall was recorded at the Whitsunday Coast Airport, which is right next to Giganga. The rain has been getting slightly better compared to, we had a couple of dry years, 14, 15. But in general, the pig numbers have still been declining. Next one, please, Narelle. This one's for the Abbott Point Carly Valley. This one's a little bit more exciting, well, for me anyway. If you look at the start 2014 to 2020, the last shoot in 2020, it doesn't look like we're doing much. We're shooting pigs, but there's still pigs. The important thing for me, in May 2021, we got some funding from North Queensland Dry Tropics, and I was able to, that money was to be spent on Carly Valley to control pigs. But I was able to convince the NRM group and also the other stakeholders who contribute financially to get them to agree that their financial contributions could be spent not just shooting pigs on their patch, but we would create a buffer. So we end up including an extra 10 properties around Carly Valley wetland, another 30,000 hectares. And I think that's been a big part of how we got to where we are now. The other thing with 2021 was, with that extra funding, we could put a bit more effort in as well. So we gave them a good knockdown, started controlling pigs in that buffer, and we're now to the point where the last couple of shoots, we've shot 1 and 2 on the wetland itself, and we're down to hardly any visible damage. Next one, please. So yeah, same graph up top, numbers of pigs shot over time, and then the rainfall. So I don't know whether you can draw a similarity between the rainfall and the number of pigs shot between, you know, say 2014 to 18. But the rainfall continues to get better. But from 2021, when we started the buffer, numbers just have continued to crash. Next one, please.
We've just got 1 minute, Bren.
Rightio. So if we look at the amount of pigs that we've removed from Giganga, you know, we're looking at a net environmental and agricultural benefit of 598,000, or a return on investment of every $1 invested, $11 returned. And next one, please. And if you look at the economics and maths for Carly Valley, for every $1 invested, $6 returned. Next one, please. Other stuff. So, I mean, I can talk because I've been in the helicopter all this time, and I've seen massive improvements visually. You know, we've got anecdotal stuff from jury rangers about they monitor the marine turtle nests They told me that there's a massive reduction in predation. The land manager at Gaganga, he's never seen his country looking so good. And we've got all the stakeholders are happy to put their money in the bucket, and we spend it where we need to. It's not so much you have to be spent on my land. It's just, okay, we're part of this program. And we've got all the different, industries all participating. Next one, please. So we'll continue to, massage and improve things in terms of the buffer zone. We're still ongoing, other baiting, trapping, etc. And this is where we need better monitoring as well. So, developing trigger points, how many acres or how many meters or whatever the number is, how many of pig damage before we crank up and start shooting more intensively. And same as, numbers, do we wait for 25 pigs to return or one pig? That's something that I'm happy to throw around and get some discussion happening. Next, please. So yeah, I haven't got any great scientific data, but by removing those pigs at Abbott Point and Gaganga, it has provided some environmental improvements. The investment has been cost effective. Aerial shooting, it can be a cost effective tool in certain landscapes. In these two wetlands it has. Creating that buffer zone has made a big difference around Carley Valley wetland. And yes, hindsight, more time and money to set up the monitoring, the condition assessments before you start, so that you can get a better gauge on what the benefits are after you do the work. Next, please. That's
Thank
me.
you
I'm
very
done.
much, Bren.